Welcome back to Dark Corner's Horror Smackdown. We love all these films, but not everyone does. So in round 3, we're playing Devil's Advocate. Views expressed here do not necessarily reflect those of Dark Corners or its affiliates. Match 53, Invasion of the Body Snatchers versus Nosferatu. 1956's Invasion of the Body Snatchers is perhaps unique in the Horror Smackdown in that its own director would probably be happy to play Devil's Advocate.
What? Will you tell these fools I'm not crazy? Make them listen to me before it's too late!
This is how Don Siegel planned for his film to end. Miles Burnell, driven to the brink of insanity, pleads helplessly to save his fellow humans, but to no avail.
They're here already! You're next!
Until the studio saw it, of course, and saved humanity in one hurried scene.
Get on your radio and sound at all points along. Block all highways, stop all traffic, and call every law enforcement agency in the state.
It's an ending that undermines the whole film. But it's not the only issue. There's also the bizarre scene where Miles and heroine Becky are imprisoned by two of the pod people, with the lock on Miles's side of the door.
What's going on in there? Miles! Miles! Unlock the door! Miles, open the door!
It's a credit to how gripping the film is that you barely notice how stunningly dumb that is. But the real shocker is the film's most dramatic moment. You only notice it in hindsight, but it doesn't work. The life cycle of the pods is simple. They are placed in the vicinity of their target.
Shall I put this in her room?
Yes, in her playpen.
They grow a blank human replica,
She's a blank.
which then becomes a particular person.
Your blank didn't change right away.
Not until you fell asleep.
More specifically,
Suddenly, while you're asleep, they'll absorb your minds, your memories.
which does leave one question unanswered.
But when they're finished, what happens to our bodies?
But we'll follow the film's example and just ignore that. The point is, they grow a replica, and while you sleep nearby, it absorbs your mind.
Becky's still at his house.
Then, at the film's denouement, when Miles and Becky are on the run, hiding in a cave,
I went to sleep, Miles, and it happened.
where was the pod? How did it have time to grow a replica? The pod people don't even know you're here.
You didn't go to sleep.
Suddenly, for this one scene, the whole premise is changed so the pods are actually taking over human minds.
Let's face it, we have a mystery on our hands.
Which, by the way, makes the title make much more sense. You're so caught up in the tension of the film that you don't really notice on first viewing, but combine this with that ending and... is this sort of thing good enough for a Horror Smackdown quarter-finalist? There's a strong argument to be made that Nosferatu, A Symphony of Horror, is a lesser film than director F.W. Murnau's other horror masterpiece, Faust. Technically and artistically, it certainly pales in comparison to the later film. But as horror, Nosferatu is pure horror. Some of its performances may have dated. Some of its effects may have drifted into comedy or become familiar through repetition. But it stands up because Murnau's slow building of Count Orlok's character and presence across the length of the entire film is the textbook definition of how you make a horror film. It is flawless. Almost. When we meet Orlok, he is immediately a disconcerting presence. One who exerts a strange power over the world around him. And the people around him. A power that increases throughout. He is deadly. Unstoppable. His powers are mysterious and seemingly limitless. Then this happens. It's not so much that he carries his own coffin, we've seen him do that earlier. It's the manner in which he does it, trotting through town. As if he just bought it from B&Q and is anxious to get his purchase home. And all that build-up is thrown away. The latter scenes do much to restore Orlok's extraordinary screen presence. But his mystique has been shattered, and with it, the perfection of Murnau's film. Let us know what you think of these criticisms. Are they fair? Did we miss anything out? Most importantly, let us know which films should move on into the next round.